Hey now, welcome to episode number 37 of the Batman on Film vlog. And there's a reason why I'm wearing this, because we're going to talk a lot of... This is all Batman. Rick, can you believe it? We're going to talk about Batman. And Batman on film on top of that.
Am I supposed to take you seriously with that mask on? Ah, thank you very much.
There we go. I'm going to put it on at the end.
Hey, by the way, check out my coffee mug I got for Christmas. I think I showed it off the last time. But when it gets hot,
Is it the same one?
Yeah, but it wasn't hot last time.
No. It's the same one that I got? No, okay. This is the same thing. It changes colors. I got this for Christmas.
When it gets hot.
I don't...
Let me see it. Yeah, mine is double-sided. It has two different things.
Yeah, look.
Pretty cool.
Batman.
Ooh, that's cool.
And then Batman. I don't drink coffee, so just straight vodka in that, okay? All right.
Vodka. I like vodka.
All right. It's water. Where am I at? Oh, I'm Bill Jett Ramey. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Batman on Film, and with me is Mr. Rick Shew.
Hey now.
Hey now. How are you doing?
Good. Let's talk Batman.
All right. We're going to talk Batman. All right. So, one quick note. We were going to do this vlog today anyway, and didn't know exactly how much Batman we were going to talk about, but that's changed a little bit. I think it's going to take up the whole show, so I will answer your questions, your mailbag questions, in a BOF mailbag today, today or tomorrow. I will get to your questions.
You should do a solo vlog and do it that way. You haven't done one of those in a while. Just a thought.
Maybe. I like to write, so I may just do a regular. I don't know. We'll see, Rick. Damn it.
Do both.
Best up my okay.
You didn't have any mojo to begin with.
I'm going to answer the questions, so don't worry about it. One way or the other. All right, let's go. All right, so
let's talk about Batman.
Start off with there was a report. Well, let's call it a report. Variety. Boris Kit did it's a round table about geek nerd stuff, and with some of the other writers, and one of the things one of the guys asked Boris about was Matt Reeves Batman, and he said, well, you heard that the studio wants to film in November, and he also said that means we should find out, we'll split the difference, sometime around this summer-ish. We should get word, or most likely would get word who the new Batman actor is. All right, so whatever about the new Batman actor. That's a different topic. We're going to talk about the fact, or not the fact, the idea that the Batman, Matt Reeves the Batman, will start filming this fall, November-ish. Here's what I think. I think it's possible. I think I said before, if you're going to film in November, you're already going to come out in 2021, so you might as well just start in January. That way you're not stopping production 3 times or 2 times, but I mean, you would stop for Thanksgiving, you would stop for the Christmas/New Year's Eve holiday, and then, because basically the studio's shut down November to the end of the year. Shut down-ish. I guess I'll use my ish again. So that's just me. But whatever. Okay, sometime November, December, January, maybe start filming. Rick, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some location logistics that work out for them towards the end of the year, they were able to secure a place mid-November, whatever. Maybe they get a couple of scenes in and they pick back up in production in January. Either way, it's really kind of semantics at this point. We're splitting hairs here over a few months. At the end of the day, we're going to get this film in 2021, maybe even 2022.
Yeah.
That's it, period. Yeah. I don't see a 2020 release for this.
There's no. There's just no way.
Yeah.
If it doesn't start filming until November, that window, November, January, February of 2020, it's not going to come out in 2020. All right.
Right.
End of 19 into 20. So I think that at the earliest, it's 2021. Wouldn't shock me if it's 2022. And I know people go, "Wow, 2 years they're gonna start filming." And look, Wonder Woman 1984 is already filmed. They started earlier last year, 2018. It's not coming out to 2020, middle of 2020. So that's not a big deal. All right. So we'll see. Okay. There's no report. There's no official statement from Warner Brothers, any of that stuff. It's just Boris Kit saying he heard they want to start filming in November.
Right.
That's it. Okay. We shall see. I've said for a while I didn't think it was going to film until the latter part of this year at the earliest anyway. So it jives with what I've heard. Also, he talked about the script was turned in. Yes, I know that as well. And also know he's going to continue to polish the script. And I know some other things, but I won't say about the script. Not details, but let's just say the script is being given a good polish. So let's go from there, Rick. You want to talk some people off the ledge?
Okay, yes. And there's a lot of video.
Well, talk to them. Tell them, look, hey.
Yeah, so there are videos that are going around right now with reputable people that I like, by the way, that I'm fans of. I'm not going to name names here because I'm not like I'm going after somebody, but one in particular yesterday, and I listened to it this morning, and the gentlemen are talking about, well, it's been 3 years since by the time Matt Reeves was announced, the time the movie comes out, it's been 3 years. This is bad. They just don't have a good script. Otherwise, I would have been they would have already been filming it by now if they had a script. That's what this is all about. One guy's like, yeah, I worked at Warner Brothers for 2 years. It all comes down to the script. It absolutely does. They do have to be satisfied with the script. And if Ben Affleck did turn in a script, which apparently he did, and there are some people that have been online that said they read it and they loved it, that's great. The studio probably, it wasn't the direction they wanted to go in. That's probably a fair assessment. But at the end of the day, guys, this whole notion that, oh my God, this film must be in trouble. It's going to be 2021 or 2022. Nothing's been announced yet. It's officially, etc. It is January 8th, 2019. 1 year ago today, you could go to the theater. Now, it wasn't in there much longer than this because it had a pretty short run, but you could go to the theater and you could see Justice League. You could see Batman in a major motion picture on the big screen 1 year ago. That's all it's been. So we've said this before. Of course they're going to take their time. We need to miss him. Just relax. There's no problems with this production that we know of. There's certainly no indicator based on the stuff that we know. Come off the ledge. It's all good. 2022 is the perfect time to release that film anyway.
Yeah, I want to emphasize the fact that when fans say on Twitter or they're on the Batman on Film Facebook discussion group, fan discussion group, and what's the deal? He's had the job for 2 years and blah 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 blah. Guys, he's only worked on the script for a year. That's number one. Okay, it's not 2 years. It's basically a year. That's right there. Secondly, as Rick said, there is no rush to get this out. Okay? When Warner Brothers was trying to rush Ben Affleck's The Batman out, that was a different regime. Okay? Keep that in mind. Different regime altogether behind these film, and that's all changed, in this post-Justice League world over the last year. Completely new team at Warner Brothers, executive-wise, who are handling these films. And there's just no rush. And look, 2021 is the earliest. That would be, Rick, I'm going to do Texas math again, so help me out here, okay? 21, so yeah, that would be 9 years after The Dark Knight Rises. The last solo Batman film. About the same amount of time between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins. One year more.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Okay, but there was no Justice League. There was another incarnation of Batman on film between Batman and Robin and Batman Begins.
Right.
You had that. You had two films, which Rick, for all intents and purposes, Batman was the lead character in both BVS and Justice League. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, BVS, he certainly was. That's a complaint I have about that film in terms of pushing Henry Cavill out of the way. And Justice League, he's the guy that put it together. He's kind of the central character of the whole thing.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you could argue Superman is behind the scenes, but no, I mean, it's Bruce Wayne. It's his Justice League,
And then you throw in the cameo in Suicide Squad. So
yes, which is a cool scene.
So it goes back to this. And as we just mentioned, a year ago, you could go to the theater, it may be the dollar theater, but still, you could go to the theater and you could see live-action Batman on film. A year ago. A year, Rick. So, shouldn't there be some time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and look, it's self-serving. I want a Batman film tomorrow. I want Batman news today. I want to speculate about who the villain is. I want to know who the new Batman's going to be, assuming there is one, which there is. I want to know all those things. I want all that stuff to start happening, but that's like, I'm from the microwave, MTV, give it to me now generation. And I was born in the mid-'70s, grew up in the '80s, and it's even worse now. I mean, our attention span in 2019 it's because everything's instant news. 5 minutes ago is old news. A movie a year ago was 20 years ago. I get it, but we do need to put this in perspective. 1 year, that's it, and there's nothing that we know of that is wrong with this production. In fact,
look, when we were kids growing up, waiting for getting movie news. It was.
I had to wait for the next. I had to wait for the next Starlog issue to come out.
Starlog or comic scene. Yes. Yes. So
right.
Even though we're 8-9 years apart, it's still we're kind of in that same generation of how we found out our movie news. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Growing up.
But and again,
patience. It's got patience.
Right.
Okay. You've got to. I believe this, and I think Rick believes it. You got to miss Batman a little bit.
You got to miss him. Scott Mendelson from Forbes wrote an article that I put up on our private Facebook page. Some points that I agreed with, some points I didn't quite agree with. But the end of the day, what he was basically saying is, by virtue of Aquaman's success, that's, by the way, it's probably going to hit $1 billion by the end of this week, which is pretty crazy. Another conversation for another day.
Good for Aquaman. Good for
Aquaman.
Good for DC on film.
I have no problems being wrong on that prediction. I could not in my wildest dreams have imagined $1 billion, because my prediction with the domestic is actually pretty much on the money.
That blows my mind. Really.
Let's do it. 320 is probably going to end up domestically, which is there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. That's good. It's a very good number. I'm just saying, but any other film that does that much in this genre of films do $1 billion worldwide. It maxes out around 700 maybe. It's crazy. It's awesome, but it's crazy. Okay, I don't want to get off of that. Hold on. So Aquaman's about to do $1 billion. That's great. But because of the success of Aquaman, what Scott was saying is that, and also we have Wonder Woman, so we have 2 properties now that are exciting and people like. And quite frankly, I like Aquaman a lot more the second time I saw it. I really like it a lot. I like it enough, and I really love Wonder Woman. I'm excited about their sequels. We have Shazam around the corner. Scott was saying, look, Warner Brothers doesn't need Batman anymore. It's not that they're going to not make Batman movies, but they don't need him to be their cash cow. And that's a good thing for Batman, because we don't want them just turning out Batman films. We can't reboot this character. We can't keep doing this. I mean, they did it with Spider-Man. They finally got him right with Tom Holland. Nothing against anybody else, but the Andrew Garfield stuff was weird to me. But there's a certain point where people also will get turned off. It's like another Spider-Man, another Batman, because Ben Affleck's not coming back. So let's take a break and let's let this breathe and let's miss them again and let's let some of these other properties fly. We've got so much to look forward to between now and Batman. Anyway, I'm talking about just in geek fandom alone. Wonder Woman 84, Shazam, Avengers Endgame, Star Wars Episode 9. What am I missing here?
Joker, but that's a whole different animal.
No, absolutely. It is a different animal, but it's still part of not the specific universe. It's its own story, but it's still a movie about the Joker. Absolutely, that counts.
I think this. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about the Joker.
I beg to differ. There was just Scott's article, and hey, look, I'd love to get him to come on and talk about it, and I think his whole point was the last line that you mentioned, right? It was okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm gonna. I wish I had it in front of me. Do you have it in front of you?
No, but go ahead. Paraphrase.
Please Google it because I'm going to paraphrase it, Scott. If you by chance listening to this, I'm sorry for paraphrasing, but basically what he says is, Aquaman proves that Warner Brothers know the next time Batman or the next time Warner Brothers makes a Batman movie, it's not because they have to, it's because they want to.
Yes.
And I think
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. He said it better, but that's the yeah.
I would argue audiences, Warner Brothers needs Batman. Batman is the greatest comic book character of all time, and people would argue that's Superman, but on film, it's just, it's irrefutable. Batman is a very popular character. There are going to be Batman films. Warner Brothers is not going to stop making Batman films, but yes, the success of Wonder Woman and now Aquaman makes it to where let's get a Flash film out. Let's get out a Booster Gold film. I'm just throwing it out, whatever.
Right.
And use some of these other characters. And Rick, sorry if you're watching at home. Also, and I wrote about this yesterday, Aquaman is the blueprint. I believe that 100%. Just, you're going to make a Flash film? Make a damn flat.
No, you don't, and they're not. I don't think that's their plan.
And James Wan said, I wanted to make an Aquaman film. Period.
Just make good movies with these characters and tell the story of these characters. That's it. That's the focus. Bottom line, that's it. And I think that's exciting. Okay.
Yes.
It's very exciting, and it gives those characters justice.
Because what was happening, Rick, we talked about the Ben Affleck version of the Batman, and Warner Brothers was trying to get that thing out. That's because they needed Batman. It was a shit show. It was a shit show. And they were trying to get a Batman film out to try to save everything. That was, I think that contributed to that whole mess, with Affleck and that whole. I'm going to rehash that, but I think that just that pressure to get another Batman film out certainly wasn't good for Affleck or for anybody involved in that project. And look what happened, So anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So bottom line is this. They're probably going to start filming somewhere maybe in November of this year, maybe the first quarter of next year. We're looking at I hope a June or July 2021 release. That's what I hope. If it's 2022, so be it. Just be great. It's hard. We were talking about at the top of the show. I was talking about one of the shows I watched yesterday. I didn't want to call him out in a negative way, but it was John Campia's show. I'll just say it. And here's the deal: Campia and the guy that was on, they were making some really good points about the movie too. Like, look, Batman's hard to do because there's been a lot of
I agree with that.
There's been that part was really good. They were like, there's a lot of Batman movies, and there's quite frankly several good ones. Some better than others, but we'll get into that another day. And so it's hard for them to come up with a story that's fresh, that's new, that's unique. You can't tell an origin story really because we have Batman Begins. I'm sure that Matt Reeves is struggling with a lot of things. Do I show the Waynes getting murdered? It's important for this scene, but my God, we've seen it 4 times on screen already. I'm sure there's all sorts of. It's got to be a colossal pain in the ass. So let them take their time. I really believe that he's going to deliver something fresh, interesting. I think it's probably going to please all of us. The Nolan lovers, the Burton lovers. I really do. I think it's going to bring us all in this big tent, and we're going to,
I think it is more about getting this right and letting Batman have a little space, or letting DC have some space from Batman and the audience as well, as opposed to there's something bad happening. You can't get it right. You can't. I think there's a conscious effort at Warner Brothers to let's slow this down. We're going to do Batman, and we're going to do it right. We don't need to rush into it and put it out right now. Don't need to.
And let's also keep in mind, and we've talked about this on podcast. Something I didn't deal with growing up, you didn't deal with growing up, is that we want instant information, and I don't mean the same capacity I meant earlier. I mean like we want to know what the stage the script is at. We want to know when exactly is the shoot date. We want to know what status or approval status that the screenplay is with the studio, etc. We're so focused on how the sausage is made that we can mind f ourselves into like having negative thoughts about a film and going into it sour. When that stuff becomes public too, there's directorial issues, and look at what happened with Justice League. Hell, even look at some of the stuff that happened with Star Wars. It can be just a beatdown. Like, don't just chill out and quit. Let's not worry so much about step by step how the sausage is made. I just want to talk about the casting and the look. That's all. That's the stuff I'm looking forward to.
It's the best.
And I really hope the new costume is a lot better than that mask. Whoever's behind the mask.
You don't like this mask?
Actually, I have one. If I knew you were going to do that, I'd have been contrite.
Okay, this means we're getting to the end. And so,
yeah,
Rick,
that's our cue.
Yeah, I just like wearing the mask. I just like wearing it. For one thing, I have a cowl, but it's that closet behind me. So when I was made a member of the Citizens for Batman back in 2007, Rick.
There was a Batman costume I used to rent. I probably could have just bought it with all the money I spent on renting it in the 90s.
Yeah.
I rented it 4 or 5 times. I did.
Was it from the '89 or was it from Batman Returns?
It was.
They did costumes. Yeah. The Rubies did costumes for all the movies. So
I don't think my chest. I think it was '89.
It had the triple scallops.
More the muscle. Yeah, I've got pictures of it. But I went to my nephew's birthday. All 3 of my nephew's birthday parties, dressed up like him. Halloween parties, whatever. And man, that was an awesome suit. But my point to bringing it up is, it was something about you put that damn thing on. It just felt awesome.
I went as Batman for Halloween in the 90s twice. I wore the 89. I wore the 89 costume with a Batman Returns cowl, because the Batman Returns cowl was cool. Was a better version of that. And then I went 96, or maybe it was 95 of Halloween. I wore the sonar suit from Batman Forever.
It was the sonar suit.
Yeah. So, yes.
Well, I was going to try to pull it up as we were sitting here talking, but my Facebook's
I know exactly what you're talking
about. Not populating. I was going to look at the chest on it, but whatever. Anyway, it was awesome. It was empowering.
It had a chest piece, and then the cowl, and it had the
and then I've talked about this a million times. When I did those summers, I did the stunt show, DC stunt show at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. When I was Superman, I was cast as Batman. And I get down to San Antonio, and I'm excited. I'm going to be Batman. I'm going to be, what do you call it when you rappel down a catwalk, and we're in the suit, and they're like, "Now you know what? We're going to switch you up, and you're going to be Superman." And they made the Superman Batman because he had martial arts experience. I just remember being so freaking jealous. Every day watching him put on that damn thing, but that's all right. I got to fly.
I saw a picture of that. That was
But I got to fly, so whatever.
Yeah, that cowl was like blue.
Blue.
Like comic book.
Yeah, we had Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, and Batgirl.
Awesome.
We had Lex, we had Joker, and we had Henchman. It was fun.
All right. Let's get the hell out of here. Got anything to plug?
Just follow me on Twitter @ShewRick, and don't worry about the movie. We're in good hands. Everything's fine. We're going to get the Batman before you know it.
All right. Follow me on Twitter @BatmanOnFilm. And, of course, if you like what we do, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. And what else? Anything else I'm going to plug? No, that's it. Go to Batman on Film proper and read our stuff. So, here we go, Rick. You ready?
Yeah.
Batman on Film. Authoritative. Definitive.
And the dead gum original.
Yes, it is. All right, we'll catch you next time.
That was fun.